So look at Daniel chapter 7 and verse number 9, I think is where we left off on Friday. I beheld till the thrones were cast down. So we did read this verse. The Ancient of Days did sit, whose garments were white as snow, the hair of his head like the pure wool. His throne was like the fiery flame, his wheels on burning fire. So the whole picture, and I'll read a little bit more here in a bit, the whole picture in Acts 7 is a picture of the eternal God that is over the affairs of men. People have argued, who is this? Is this God the Father? Is this Jesus? And I lean to it's God the Father because we see the Son of Man coming on the scene, and the Son of Man is a title of Jesus in the New Testament and separate from the Father. The Ancient of Days could represent the triune God, and it's the Son of Man, just Jesus in his office as the king and the victor over Antichrist. But whatever the case, this is God. This is God. And God is sitting on a throne, and he's surrounded by these symbols of judgment. So fire, he's on a throne that has wheels, movable. Oftentimes a king that would come into a place would judge a particular city or place. They would import his throne. They would bring his throne on wheels in, and he'd be able to judge in different locations. And so here's God judging. The Bible says in verse 10, a fiery stream issued and came forth from before him. So almost like a lava river, which, let me see here, thousands ministered unto him, 10,000 times 10,000 stand before him. The judgment was set, the books were opened. The whole scene in Daniel chapter 7 is reminiscent of the scene in Revelation chapters 4 and 5. Remember when John is caught up hither, he sees the throne in heaven, he sees the 24 elders, which by the way are a picture of us New Testament saints. So there would be millions and millions and millions of people, just like the Bible indicates here. Chapter 5, the book, the scroll, is opened. It's the Lion of the tribe of Judah who is worthy to open that scroll. Sometimes we hear that new song, that Andrew Peterson song. Have you heard it? Is he worthy? He is. Just a great, Google that. It's a great song. That's all based on Revelation chapter 5. So it's the Lord who is in control. The kingdoms of the world have run their course. They've all imploded upon themselves. The new kingdom has arisen. The revived Roman Empire seems to be the strongest of all. And leading the revived Roman Empire is this one little horn who has supplanted three of the horns, who is speaking powerfully and intelligently and pompously, full of pride. And he represents all of what man is in snubbing his nose against God. Of course, if we really want to study the tribulation, we know that the Antichrist breaks his treaty with Israel. The entire nation of the world turns against God's people. So there's a lot going on here. Look at verse number 11. And I beheld then, because of the voice of the great words which the horn spake, I beheld even till the beast was slain, and his body destroyed and given to the burning flame. So what will be the ultimate demise of Antichrist? He will be destroyed. He will be destroyed by God the judge. Of course, we know historically he will be, prophetically I should say, he will be cast down there at the Battle of Armageddon as the armies of the world are reconnoitered and brought against Israel, and God comes in and saves at the last minute. Christ comes, and of course in that second coming to earth, you and I, as redeemed, raptured saints, will return to the earth with Christ. And we're going to see a little bit of that even in this chapter. Look at verse number 12. As concerning the rest of the beasts, they have their dominion taken away, yet their lives were prolonged for a season and a time. So when Jesus comes a second time, now the rapture is not technically the second coming of Christ, because when we talk about the coming of Christ, we're talking about coming to this earth. And the rapture is not a return to this earth, it's a return to the air. We meet him there. So when Jesus again comes to this earth, destroys the armies at Armageddon, sets his foot down upon the Mount of Olives, enters into Jerusalem as the King of Kings and Lord of Lords, and you and I, of course, will rule and reign with him. That inaugurates a season called the Millennial Reign of Christ, the 1,000-year reign of Jesus. Does that mean that Jesus only reigns for 1,000 years? No, his kingdom is forever. It's eternal. And so forever and forever and forever, God, the triune God, holds sovereign sway over the universe, and we recognize it as so. It's not that God's not sovereign today, but from then on, there's no question. God is in control. It's the eternal day. But at the beginning of that millennial period, there is what's called the judgment of the nations. So there are people that will be alive on earth that will have survived the tribulation, that will enter into the millennial reign of Jesus Christ. So that's the point here. And the point is that Jesus, with you and I, will rule and reign, that reign with an iron fist. I mean, the righteousness will reign and peace will come. And in other words, Jesus is going to show humanly that it was only through him and through his righteous rule that a government can work. And so he is going to show the antithesis of all of what human government has done. Human government has been destructive. Human government has been proud. Human government has been full of itself with greed and political chicanery and backbiting and backstabbing and just all of it. I'm fishing for words this morning, but the point is that human government, because it's led by whimsical human beings, will always be self-serving, will always create classes, will never serve the people adequately, even the best of governments. And Jesus is going to demonstrate that he is the answer. Peace on earth. That's the millennial reign of Jesus Christ. Now, look at verse number 13. I saw in the night vision, and behold, one like the Son of Man came with the clouds of heaven and came to the Ancient of Days, and they brought him near before him. So this is the Lion of the tribe of Judah. It's mentioned in Romans 5. The Son of Man, this is clearly Messiah. Over, I think it's 80 times in the New Testament, in the Gospels, Jesus is called the Son of Man, the representative man, especially in the book of Luke, where his humanity is highlighted. Jesus is the answer. So the Son of Man appears before the Ancient of Days, and there was given him dominion and glory and a kingdom that all people, nations, languages should serve him. His dominion is an everlasting dominion which shall not pass away. His kingdom, that which shall not be destroyed. So there it is. Jesus receives the kingdom. Jesus rules and reigns. Jesus is worshiped by all. Jesus brings peace and unanimity. Jesus. Okay, here is the millennial reign of Jesus Christ. Verse number 15. I, Daniel, was grieved in my spirit, in the midst of my body, and the visions of my head troubled me. Now, here's where we're going to go tomorrow. So Daniel now has seen the vision. He has apprehended, at least visually, all that's going on. And boy, I'll tell you what, all of human history is a little bit hard to swallow in one vision. So Daniel sees this horrific vision of blood and battle and what a nightmare, really, Daniel has had. And that's what human history is. It's a story of wars. It's a story of death. It's a story of the failure of mankind. It's depressing when you look at it just through that lens. And of course, even though Jesus has final victory, his victory comes through battle and death and all of it. And now the millennial reign of Jesus Christ will be characterized by peace and joy and safety and all of it. So you can understand why Daniel would be so troubled by all of this. Even though he knew the general framework of the history of the world, because of the vision in Daniel chapter 2, this vision has been a little bit more detailed and has a whole lot more bloodshed in it. It's just a lot more raw. And so you can see why Daniel would be upset by it. And we're going to see how God calms him and God helps him by clarifying his power, his purpose in all of it. That's how God helps you, by the way. That's the way God helps me. He clarifies his person, he clarifies his purpose. But when God does that, then everything's okay because God is in control. So I hope that helps today, my friends. Hope you have a great day in the Lord, and we will see you, Lord willing, tomorrow.